Hey everyone, it's Nick Jerusalem here with the Jerusalem's Happy Home Team, here to talk to you about the super sexy topic of property taxes. Woohoo! And what are they? How are they calculated? And so, first of all, taxes vary from each city municipality. And so what they're going to do is they're going to first determine what your assessed value is. And so the way they determine that is they look at what is the land value for your home, and also what is the value of the improved structure, because a lot could be very valuable, but you could have a crummy home or vice versa. And so every year they do a value adjustment based on how that particular geographic area performed for that year in appreciation, typically by zip code. And an important note is that in Washington State there is really no limit or cap to how much they can adjust it up, and they can also adjust it down if the market is correcting. And that varies greatly from other states. Like for instance in California, when you buy a home, that your purchase price becomes your tax basis. They don't compute it themselves, they go off what you paid for it, and then each year they can only adjust it up and down 2%. Whereas here they could swing it up 17% in one year, and that actually was how much the average taxes went up in King County. So in addition to doing the annual assessed value adjustment, once every 6 years, they'll also do a drive-by of the property just to make sure that it's not some dilapidated shack that has burnt to the ground. And so then when we kind of take it down to the more granular level, your property taxes are going to go towards local improvements, streets, schools, fire districts, sewers, things of that nature. And so if you live in a particular city that is maybe rapidly growing, where you have lots of new schools being built, new roads, your tax rate may be higher. Also, your tax rate will greatly vary from city to city based on how valuable the properties are. So for instance, Bellevue has one of the lowest tax rates because their tax basis is so high, the actual percentage rate doesn't need to be that high to compensate for that. Whereas other areas where your property values might be lower, but you still have the same costs to maintain your roads and everything else, the percentage of your home value could potentially be higher. And so your assessed value, they try to make it the true market value. Very rarely have I ever seen any correlation whatsoever to the assessed value and what the actual fair market value will be. Again, oftentimes it can be way higher than the actual market value or way lower. There's different exemptions for property taxes. So if you're a senior and you're living on fixed income, you can get a reduced tax basis. If your property has certain types of classifications, maybe it's agriculture land, or you own 200 acres of forest timber, they're not going to classify that the same if you owned 200 acres that you could build houses on. You can dispute the assessed value if you feel that they've raised your value way higher than what the market value would be. We don't see that being too fruitful very often, but you can provide your list of comparable properties. We can help you with that too. If you have a dispute, we can help put together a market analysis for you, so just let us know. Be happy to get that worked up for you. So property taxes are due in April and October. However, most people, if you have a mortgage, usually what will happen is your mortgage company will escrow your entire year's worth of property balances and make those payments for you on April and October on your behalf. Sometimes, if your property taxes went up a bunch and escrow hasn't gotten the updated tax statement yet, you might see that they're going to have to rebalance with you. And they mean that you have a higher monthly payment going into your mortgage, but really it's just to compensate for those property taxes. So this is kind of a real high level 101 overview, if you will. Obviously there's lots of specifics and exceptions that go into that. So with more questions, feel free to reach out, happyhometeam.com.
happyhometeam.com